So have you got like?
Mate, I'm just an amateur. Usually I talk to politicians, but it looks as though we need to talk to some politicians about what's been going on here.
Correct.
Bill Thompson for Street Talk. Can I get you guys to just give me a bit of background on what's been going on in Cameroon that's causing you distress?
Cameroon for the past 55 years has been living under suppression, and it will interest you to know that Cameroon is a country that came in 1961 under a federal constitution, following their historical colonial legacies. And
under the British and the French.
British and the French. So one is Anglo-Saxon and one is a French Cameroon.
No,
and they came in to form a mutual agreement. And then in 1972, a United Republic of Cameroon was formed, and that was the trajectory that led to the marginalization that culminated to the return to La République to Cameroon in 1984, when the name was changed from Federal Republic, United Republic, then to La République du Cameroon.
So did it work out reasonably well to begin with, and then it's deteriorated, or?
It never had worked out well,
okay.
Because even by the change of the Federal Constitution to United Republic was unconstitutional. It was unconstitutional because the country as known as Cameroon was supposed to remain a federal constitution as was agreed prior to that reunification, but then that was changed. So it has never worked out. Marginalization has been the order of the day. Suppression has been the order of the day, where a particular clique of people has taken over the rulership of the country, and Anglophones are treated as second-class citizens.
Okay, okay. So the francophones are at the top level.
Yes.
Okay.
They are predominantly taking the leadership.
Okay.
Of the country. So recently, why we're protesting is that when the teachers and the lawyers went into the street to protest against the subjugation of the Anglophone educational subsystem, and given that we have a cultural heritage of British, we were practicing common law, but magistrates who practice civil law are transferred to common law courts,
okay,
who cannot practice in common law.
Okay.
That means that there is an arbitrary detention of people because the magistrates do not understand the language, and so they cannot pass effective or efficient judgments. So they decried about this, went to the street. Teachers said you cannot send francophone teachers to teach in English schools who do not speak neither English nor French.
Okay.
So they rather unteach our children. They have been unteaching our children for the past 55 years. And this is why they said, stop sending these children to teachers who cannot speak the English language. This was a struggle to maintain our cultural heritage.
Right.
But then it led to the brutal arrest, the torture, the arrest of our
So when
leaders.
was this?
This happened, this has been
ongoing.
ongoing. It is ongoing.
As we speak,
As we speak, it is still
Okay.
happening. Our leaders, we form a civil society consortium where different trade unionists came together to say no to this. We want to return to the two-state federation as it was in 1961. And the regime has refused, saying Cameroon is one and indivisible. But this is not true, because we were autonomous. We were an autonomous state right up to 1961, before we agreed on a mutual consensus to come into union.
Okay. So this is something of a holdover from colonial days.
It has a trajectory.
Look, we're in Australia. There's controversy currently over whether the role of the British here 200 years ago was positive or not. I think most people in Australia think that the British offered a positive basis to Australia. Your view, if I understand it correctly,
my view is against that.
Okay.
Because whatever we are going on today, or that is going on with us today, traces its roots back to colonial history,
Yes.
and we blame British for that.
Okay.
Because the third option, which we had when we were about to be granted independence, the popular opinion was for us to get total independence. But at the request of Britain, the United Nations dropped the third option, which was that of total independence.
Right.
And only two options was given to us in the plebiscite on the 11th of February 1961.
Okay.
Where we were to gain independence either by integrating with Nigeria or reunifying with La République du Cameroon, as it was in the German Cameroon. So we had no choice except getting independence by either joining either Nigeria or La République du Cameroon. So we never had a choice. And their claim was that we did not have enough resources to sustain an independent state, which is false, because today in Cameroon, though we are a minority, 65% of the country's resources comes from this region.
Okay,
we
South Cameroon.
The timber, we produce the cocoa, Southern Cameroon. We produce the cocoa, we produce the timber, we produce the coffee. The rich oil minerals and deposits, the wells are found in Southern Cameroon. But it is not even going to our budget. It is going to a few clique of people that has taken the country hostage.
Look, we'll get on to what you'd like to happen, but of course in the UK now we've got the Scots who say, well, we've got the North Sea oil, we're producing all the wealth, and we don't like the direction that the UK is taking us. There's a lot of this going on in the world of people saying, well, we don't like the way things have been going for the last 50, 60 or 200 or 300 years. What would you like to see happen?
Well, what the consortium leaders have, different factions in Cameroon have different opinion, but our civil society consortium leaders have said in order to stop the marginalization, the human rights abuse of the Anglophones, there is a need, an urgent need to return to a two-state federation as it was in 1961, with each state maintaining its autonomy and being able to manage its resources and make decisions that are based on their cultural heritages. So that we want to protect that heritage. So we are asking for at least a referendum where the civil society in Southern Cameroon will be able to decide the fate, how they want to be governed. And our consortium leaders are very clear on this, that to solve the marginalization and the human rights abuses and the subjugation and the abject poverty and penury that we are living in, they have to go back unconditionally to a two-state federation. Okay. This is a condition sine qua non if peace must reign in Cameroon.
Now, mate, look, I'm not familiar with the leadership of Cameroon. Is there some sort of strongman type of guy there that's...
He's a tyrant.
Okay, and how long has he been in power?
34.
Okay. And you either have no elections or the elections are kind of rigged.
They are cosmetic.
Okay.
They are cosmetic. This is a guy who has never campaigned.
Okay.
He has never been on a campaign trail. He announces the calendar of election just as much as he wants to please the international audience that there is a caricature of democracy in Cameroon. It does not exist.
Okay. Fellas,
he has said in many occasions that it's not about who wants to be the president of that country, but who can, who has the ability to be it, you know? So it's a kind of a tyrannic system. However, as the brother have said, we are here for this cause because we are seeking the intervention of the Australian government, because we are Australian citizens and we are born in Cameroon. We still have family back there. So we're seeking that they help us to initiate some form of international dialogue, you know, be it with the UN, you know, the Human Rights Commission and whosoever that they deem necessary to do that to help us. Number one, because there's genocide happening in Cameroon where we're born, as you can see.
Yep.
To help to prevent this, if they can, that would be appreciated. To also help to push that current government into some form of negotiation so a referendum can be held where decisions will be made about federalism. So this is basically our summary of what we're trying to do here today, to push for today.
Chaps, I am delighted to see a group of people exercising their freedom of speech in a very civil fashion and not interfering with other people going about their business, as we've seen in Melbourne in the last few days. Thank you very much for your time. I'll post this on my YouTube thing. Sometimes I get one person look at it, sometimes I get a couple of thousand. If you get onto YouTube and look up Outside Insiders, I usually hang around the ABC studios at South Bank and talk to politicians and stuff. Yeah, good on you chaps. Good luck.
Thanks very much for your interest, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Hang on, mate.